A little bit of a twist and a turn in the case of Ripple versus the SEC this past weekend, as a lot of people were seeming to talk about an expected settlement coming soon. Now, last week there was the deposition of former Chairman Hinman, and after that, you didn't hear a whole lot of news, and so a lot of people were speculating that a settlement was actually incoming. In fact, a lot of people speculated whether or not that deposition actually happened. Now, several people supposedly said the deposition absolutely happened, but they can't really talk about anything, and nothing's going to be let into the public. However, the best case scenario would that Ripple would be using some of that information in their motion for a summary judgment to actually just go ahead and win the case. But this past weekend, the settlement talks pretty much came to an end when the SEC actually filed something. I'm going to talk about it in this video, what that's going to mean for the case and why it doesn't bode well for settlement talks, at least in the near term. Also, some others in the YouTube and crypto space have been speculating on what could possibly be a big XRP prediction for the end of the year. I'm going to let you know what they're thinking and if that's still in play. And some bigger moves and some bigger news recently for Cardano, which is one of the biggest cryptocurrencies, has been making some news, has been making some headlines recently, but I recently saw a video of a bigger influencer in the crypto space, and he talked about what he's actually doing with Cardano and why he put $1 million into it. And I'm going to let you know what his thoughts on a price prediction are for the end of this year. Hey everyone, my name is Randy. Welcome back to the Late Night Grind. On this channel, I'm covering the Ripple versus SEC case because it's huge in the cryptocurrency world, but I also cover other cryptocurrency news and investment markets, personal finance, and so if any of those topics interest you, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Also hit the bell notification icon so YouTube will send you a notification when I do go ahead and post a video. So make sure you have those buttons checked. Also, you can follow me on Twitter. I will post a link down in the description below. And as always, if you're feeling really generous, and those in the crypto space are the most generous, I feel, go ahead and hit that like button. It really helps out with the YouTube algorithm. It tells YouTube to share this video with other audiences. So if you do that, as always, I greatly appreciate it. All right, let's jump into it. So Cardano, or ADA as the ticker symbol is known by. Now recently, there's been a lot of bigger influencers talking about Cardano, along with Ethereum, because this week's a big week for Ethereum. But specifically in Cardano, I've been watching several big YouTubers mention how much money they're actually putting into Cardano, and they're doing it now because they feel Cardano could be one of the biggest movers in this second half of the Bitcoin and crypto bull run. In fact, Big Boy Crypto mentioned in one of his videos he put $1 million into Cardano, and he's actually doing staking pools with it, and he feels it could be one of the big movers, which is why he's in that along with XRP. Now, his prediction for the end of the year for Cardano is actually $8, which would be a big move, but he's actually starting to draw down some of his predictions because he actually thinks that the next 2 months are actually going to be the biggest push, and that it's not going to be a big end of the year push or even into January and February. He doesn't subscribe to the fact that this is an elongated, drawn-out bull cycle. I am in that camp. I think that everything in this cycle is just much more drawn out and elongated compared to all the other cycles. But in terms of like the fundamentals and the technicals, they actually do match up with seeing major runs in the fall and even towards the end of the year. He also had another one that I'm currently looking at, which is VeChain, VET. His prediction was 75 cents. He predicted that it probably would go over $1 by the end of the year. He's now said it's likely that it'll probably top out at about 75 cents. Now, VeChain is interesting because VeChain is actually, it's a Chinese company, it's a Chinese crypto company that tracks everything logistics, shipping, everything in the logistics industry, and it's one of the very few that China has not banned. Now, of course, there's a Chinese company that actually runs it and actually created it, but nonetheless, China is letting it go. Now, that could be huge, especially if the Asian market starts FOMOing into the rest of this crypto market at the end of the year. And some other interesting news before we get into XRP and the case, and yet another prediction for XRP. And that is that I just read there's several huge oil companies, and one is Saudi Aramco, another one is a US-based oil company. They're now exploring Bitcoin mining. Not going to go into detail on that, but you can probably use your imagination. And as a side note to that, I saw last week Elon Musk actually tweeted out that he's in favor of building nuclear power plants because it's one of the cleanest, safest forms of energy. Why doesn't the United States government continue to build nuclear power plants? I'm sure they have the reasons, but at the same time, he's kind of right. So are we going to see a nuclear power plant specifically for crypto mining? No, we're not. But they do produce insane amounts of very affordable electricity. Okay, so if you're an XRP holder, you've been following this case. Like I said in the beginning of this video, there's been news that came out last week and over the weekend, and the speculation was wild because with this case, nobody really knows anything. The longer I cover this case, the more I realize that the people actually covering the case are really just speculating, including myself. Now, what we do is look at all of the motions that come through, all the different letters, the rulings that the judges make, and kind of make predictions of the case based on that. Well, this weekend, just before the weekend actually, a lot of people predicted that there's a settlement coming because the conspiracy theory went that the Hinman deposition didn't actually happen. And now there's a lot of people saying, no, it actually happened. We just won't hear anything about what was actually said, which is what I said last week in one of my last videos. However, over the weekend, the SEC did file a letter. And this is something that's kind of going to squash the settlement talk. This letter was basically the SEC announcing that they are adding an additional attorney to the case. Now, Jeremy Hogan and John Deaton on Twitter both kind of speculated about it, both kind of said the same thing, that it doesn't look like settlement talk is going to ramp up or is even happening right now if the SEC's actually adding attorneys, new attorneys to the case. Typically in the past, that doesn't exactly mean that they're folding or looking to end it. Now, of course, it could be something as minimal as one of the others is leaving or going to work on something else. Who knows? But a few technical analysts that I watch on a daily basis still kind of saying the same thing for the end of the year. Regardless of what Bitcoin and the crypto market is going to do, as long as there is a continued bull run, XRP is going to be well suited to continue that bull run. Right now it's at 75 cents. It actually made a big jump over the past week or so to that number, and it's kind of been trading sideways for the last day or so, but it looks like from a technical standpoint, it's ready to go. There's a couple influencers that said the settlement that said the case against the SEC should be settled. It really needs to be ended months before the end of the year if XRP really wants to capitalize on this bull run. Several other YouTubers that I watched said that the sooner the better this case can end, the better the price is going to be at the end of the year. But the thing is, that could be a little bit of a short-term thinking that, yeah, that will probably be better for the end of this year. But in my opinion, I think Ripple needs to end this case with some sort of clarity. Now, a whole nother monkey wrench into this conversation is the new law that is being proposed, which would essentially redefine the definition of what a digital asset security is. Now, there's really no timetable as to when this could pass or even if it would pass, but if it does, it would redefine things for Ripple and would have to be settled or essentially thrown out because the new definition of a digital asset security wouldn't fit what XRP is at all. And it would just be yet another thing that the SEC would have going against it in the case against Ripple. All right, guys, well, I appreciate you watching this video. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Also, if you're new to the community, go ahead and visit the community tab on my channel. I put up polls, all kinds of polls on cryptocurrencies, investment markets, just to get your thoughts and see what the late night grind community is thinking. So don't forget to check those out. Also, leave a comment in the comment section below. If you think any of these price predictions are accurate, let me know, and if you think they're not accurate, let me know. Also, specifically, let me know what your thoughts are on both Cardano and on VeChain. Also, I've been digging into QNT a little bit. It's been trending very, very rapidly, both on Twitter, YouTube, pretty much anywhere in the crypto space. So let me know if you would like me to do some videos on QNT and some of the speculation around what is happening with that price. I'd appreciate it if you go ahead and let me know. Also, don't forget to click on one of the two videos being shown to you right here, because based on your watching habits, YouTube thinks that one of these two videos is going to be right up your alley, so go ahead and check those out. All right, guys, I appreciate you watching. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, and I'll see you guys on the next video.